Chris Colbert, one of boxing's most vibrant stars.
A fighter whose swag is on 100.
Is ready to put on a show live from Sin City.
The hand speed, the technique, the combinations.
But undefeated Hector Garcia won't go down without a fight.
This is brutal.
Chris Colbert versus Hector Garcia, headlining an exciting night of boxing live from Las Vegas.
It's prime time on Showtime, baby.
NBA fans, we got an offer from our good friends at Draftkings Sportsbook that's too good to pass up. Draftkings is always taking care of their customers. This is a 360 windmill good.
New customers can bet just $1 on any team and get $150 in free bets if your pick hits. $1 can't get you much these days, but not at Draftkings Sportsbook.
DraftKings Sportsbook customers can also bet on the NBA with the same game parlays. Take your favorite player to hit their over on points, and for their team to get a win, that's usually a good combination. The more legs you add, the more money you can win.
DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. The best part is that you can deposit or withdraw your cash whenever you want.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the promo code SMOKE and bet just $1 on any pro basketball team and get $150 in free bets if they win. That's promo code SMOKE at DraftKings Sportsbook. Welcome back, All the Smoke 2022. We in the building with some new merch on. I know y'all see it. Unlikely you don't see it.
You see it.
Tell them, Jack.
They see it. They see it. They see it.
Man, we want to welcome to the show one of the bright young talents in the WNBA. And I'm going to do this in two parts. Sabrina, and then I'm going to let you announce your own last name because I think it's the most mispronounced name in sports.
Ionescu.
Ionescu.
No, you still fucked it up.
Ionescu?
Ionescu.
Ionescu.
Yes.
So everyone out there, stop fucking it up.
Yes,
Put some respect
please.
on it, damn it. That's why I didn't want to, because I wasn't sure. I was like, let me just have her tell the world what it really is so we can get off to a good start.
I'm just going to call you Brina.
That's fine.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So, Bay Area girl, Walnut Creek to be exact. Shout out the Bay. Tell us about your upbringing. I know you're a really close-knit family. Talk to us about what life in Walnut Creek was like.
Yeah, born and raised. Love the Bay. Rep, the Warriors. Always went to the games.
Yeah.
But, grew up with two brothers, immigrant family. They all immigrated here. So it was a grind, like, growing up.
From where?
Romania. Immigrated
okay.
from Romania. I came from Europe and drop us off at the park half the time. We'd play for 10 hours a day and then go to school. And so it's been great. I love the Bay. I always go back and
You're a twin. I got twins. I got identical 13-year-old boys, but you have a twin brother. What's that dynamic like? Because I remember the twins like having their own little language when they were little. They couldn't even speak yet, but we'd have them on the baby monitors and they'd be going back and forth laughing like, yeah, what the hell are they talking about? Did you guys have any kind of special twin stuff?
Absolutely. He said that was his first word. My first word was his name.
Really?
His first word was my name.
Love
But
it.
honestly, it's a whole different world. Like, people really don't get how close twins actually are. And we do absolutely everything together. I probably wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for him, because we got in fist fights. We punched each other, beat each other's asses on the court, like, did absolutely everything. So he's really pushed me to, become, what I am today, and honestly still does.
Love it.
How did you find the game of basketball? Like, at what age? I know you said they dropped you off, but when did you fall in love with the game?
I was probably in like third or fourth grade, and I was between tennis and basketball. And tennis, you need a partner, and my brothers would just like want to hoop. So I ended up being like, all right, I'm not hitting it against, the wall to myself. So I got bored and I was like, all right, I'll go hoop then too. So from that age, like third, fourth grade, the men were there at lunchtime, and I was like, all right, I want to play too then. Let's go. And so ever since then, I fell in love with the game and haven't been able to put the ball down.
You knew you had it.
Are you better than your brother? Or when did you pass him if you
Absolutely.
are? When did you, I know he won't admit it, but when did you pass your brother in hooping?
In high school. it took me a little
And
while.
you know how mad I'd be if my sister could ever say she could whoop my ass in basketball?
He's still mad, and
Is he?
I play pro, and he's still mad.
I feel it.
I have to admit, at one point, my older sister was one of the top players in Texas, and she
used to put it on you?
she beat me a couple times. It was like
Oh.
for a year.
Oh.
That shit stopped quick. I
Well,
couldn't
he
take that
uses
no
his
more.
strength. Like when we used to play, and like I'd beat him, and then he'd be like, "All right," and then he'd just back me
bully
down,
you.
get into the keys. Like, now what you gonna do? I'm like, bro, that's not even fair. Straight up, let's just
Advantage.
play. Yes.
Right. Yeah, you said, fuck it, I'm going to win it one way or another.
Who did you idolize growing up?
I idolize Steph for sure, being from the Bay,
Bay,
and
right.
yeah, growing up and him coming in as just that young rookie. And you remember that people were a little, do we like him? Do we not?
Jack
I was on the team.
You were on the team.
Yeah, I
because it
remember.
was the
traded
Monte.
because he didn't believe in Steph.
I didn't believe in the organization as a whole.
Well, that's a big
Well, it was the
difference.
Monte Ellis, like,
Yeah,
do we
it
keep
was the last
Monte
of the
or
We
is it the
Believe,
step?
yeah.
All of them were gone, and I was the last old head there. I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't be here with a bunch of babies.
Yeah.
I can't go out with none of them.
Definitely couldn't do that.
Steph was a baby.
Yeah.
He was what, like 18,
For
19?
Yeah, 19.
Yeah.
But I admitted, I had no idea he was going to be who he is today. I admitted that. But
Your
at the
disclaimer?
But he knew. When I told him why I was leaving, he was like,
He
you know,
understood?
yeah, you've been, it's
He
the end of your
offered, yeah.
career. You want
Right.
to go somewhere and try to win a championship. But yeah, I regret that.
So, Steph,
Yeah, Steph, Becky Hammond on the women's
Of
side.
course.
Yeah.
we'll talk about her a little later.
I loved watching her at the point guard position. Kobe with the Lakers for sure. I mean, that was our Michael Jordan
Of course.
of this
On it.
era. Yeah, so him, Steve Nash at the point guard position. I watched so much like NBA growing up with brothers, so that was really like who I watched, idolized, and even now like Diana Taurasi, and it's crazy because
Yes,
we're
she's
playing in the
still
league
playing.
together,
Yeah.
and it's like I remember being young and watching her, and I'm like, yeah, she is about 20 years older than I am.
Crazy,
so.
right?
Who would
Yeah.
you say you pattern your game after?
I would say I really try and take a little bit
Of everybody.
everybody.
That's what all the greats say.
Yeah. It's like I try and take, like, ever since I was young, it's like, oh, I like the way Steph shoots. All right, I'm going to shoot from really far. But then it's like, but I really like how Steve Nash comes off the pick and roll. So I watched that. And then I would just take little things of players that I liked and was like, all right, I'm going to watch film on Luka Doncic, how he's able to pull back. And it's just like finding all the players that I like and trying to put them all in one.
You know, it's funny you say that because we just had Roy Jones on the show.
Boxer.
And he
Boxer,
said he
yeah.
took something from
Like
all the
12
greats.
He listed like 12 greats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took one thing from all of them and.
But
that's
it's
dope.
cool you could do it with other sports too.
Yes.
Like I really like watch other sports and it's like, oh, that footwork's different and that could be used on the court or like even tennis, like how quick they are laterally and able to push off. Like I like watching other sports too because I think it could give you an advantage.
Yeah.
What do you remember most about high school? 119-9. Gee whiz.
So not a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah,
of
I
winning.
didn't lose much.
School record, 2,600 points.
Yeah.
Put in the basket, I guess you could
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, I guess you can shoot a little
I guess
bit.
you could say that shit.
How was high school?
It was great. The hard part was I never lost. So when I got to college, it was like a rude awakening. I lost 7, I think, in my first year in college, and I was like,
End of the world.
I'm
I
new to
can't
this.
lose. Yeah, I almost transferred. I was like, this is awful, and it was like 7. But high school was the best. Just like 8 hours of school, and then it's like, all right, I'm gonna go hoop now. And then you have a game, and it's like, oh, I had 44 last night, and then you go the next game, and it's the next day. It was fun and like youthful, and then as you keep going, like more pressure, harder games, like injuries. It just, yeah. But high school was fun.
Me and you both won the McDonald's.
Here we go.
What? Me and you both won the McDonald's MVP.
But she actually got the trophy.
I know, but
What happened to your trophy?
so I didn't actually get the trophy. I had the best stats. I was a leading scorer, everything by far. And Kobe said he thought I won
Yeah,
it.
this is
So,
what Stanton was coming
yeah,
said. You didn't win it?
me and
Jack,
Kobe
when I tell
graduated.
you, Jack
Kobe was
probably
my
peed
2
on
guard.
himself when Kobe said that
Kobe was the
shit.
2 guard. I was the 3 guard. 96. I balled out. Everybody knew it. He said I won MVP because he thought I won it because I had the best game. So in my mind, I won,
You won it.
Question. Me and you both won the MVP of the McDonald's game. How did that feel? I know how it felt for me, but how did it feel for you?
This nigga's crazy.
Honestly, I went in super under the radar. I was the only player that hadn't committed to a college. All the other players were like UConn, Stanford, Tennessee,
South
and
Carolina.
The big dogs.
the big dogs, and I was the only one that was uncommitted. And so I just remember, like, before the game when the media comes in, like, I had 0 interviews. Not one person came up to interview me, and I was like, all right, like, this is going to motivate me. So I showed up to the game, I came off the bench, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to just shoot. And I hit like 7 threes and then 1 MVP, and I was like,
See?
all right, this is the start of
Next time
all
you
the
motherfuckers
haters.
better interview me.
Yeah.
Goddammit, I'm trying to tell you.
I mean, I think she had the it factor that she could have went out of high school.
Yeah.
I think just how everybody was talking about you and how your name was ringing, you know, going into college. They were like, she can be one of the ones, for the first woman to go straight out of high school. Well, that would have been dope.
That would have been cool. Yeah, there's so many rules, though. I think you have to be 21.
Yeah.
Be
And
3 years removed from high school.
That
3 years
sucks.
removed, and you have to be 21 or graduate from
I
college.
think that's like football. That's how they do football, right?
That
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, that's crazy. But in the process, the number 1 point guard, the 2016 class, you just said you were a late commit. How did Oregon win you over?
I just didn't want to be like everyone else. Everyone was committing to all these schools that were known for winning, and I was like, I kind of want to go do something that no one's done at a school that has the potential to be up there. And Oregon, I mean, with the funding from Nike.
Yo, Oregon is so dope for
Yeah.
people who haven't been to Eugene. I went to UCLA. When we went to Oregon, we had a blast every time. Girls, it was popping, cool little bars. I had a
Bars, yeah.
blast in Eugene.
And then
It's such
talking
a-
about Jordan and Phil Knight.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's like having Phil Knight come to your game, Tinker Hatfield walk in, like, it's dope. They're like, oh, what shoes you guys want? And he's over there like designing Jordans.
That's
crazy.
Yeah, like
That's
it's
crazy.
cool. So when I went there for my official, I was like, this could feel like home.
Yeah.
Like football games, everything's about the student athletes there. Like everything is about sports. So I was like, all right, I want to do something that hasn't been done. I love the coaching staff, and it turned out to be, great experience.
It's hard to not be a sneakerhead being a hooper, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. I know.
you can.
I'm looking at the ones that are like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard.
To many, you're considered the GOAT out there in Oregon. But what was your college experience like with, fandom and just moving along just in your regular day? Obviously, you did what you did on the court, but what was life like off the court for you?
It was gradual, so I think that helped. Like, the first year, people would ask me to take pictures of the team, thinking I was the manager. And then it was like, oh, wait, that's who that is. And then it was like, year 2, year 3, it's like we get to 2 Final Fours. And then, we're beat Team USA and are, the best team in, like, arguably college sports my senior year. And so it was a gradual kind of climb. But I think the cool thing to see was, like, we averaged 2,000 fans my first year.
the attendance went
And
way
my
up,
last
right?
year, we averaged, like, 11,000. And so be able to see, like, the little girls and the boys that would show up to games. And it's just, like, this is really what it's about. It's, like, about inspiring these kids to want to play and be better. And so that was just a humbling experience, and hopefully I can continue to do that in the pros as well.
Absolutely. The triple-double, you've made it look easy. Somehow you and Russell Westbrook have a knack for that. But do you remember your first one? In college, you had 26.
Damn.
For real, right?
And I got whiffed on a couple of them.
Yeah.
My coach wanted to take me out with 9.
Come on, coach. You got to know better
That's
than
what
that.
I'm
Hey,
saying.
come on, man.
I wouldn't
Come on,
talk to him for a week. But we'd be up by like 70, and he was like,
But the whole
"Nope,
team going to make sure you get that one
one
rebound that was
Everyone's
says, yeah.
boxing out, and then probably high school. I know I had a quadruple double in high school. I had some steals in there, but like our stats were never up in high school. Like all the little billboards was points. So I half the time had no idea. I was
the
just
rest of it.
Yeah, I was just trying to play, and if I was the wing, and I was like, rebounding is the easiest way to get the ball. So I would just go out
get
there and rebound. Yeah.
You missed the NIL phase. How big do you think that could have been while you were in college?
I'm hurt.
Yeah.
I'm real hurt. It's cool to see these kids making money now. It's hard. Like you don't have time for a job. You don't have time for a lot of things. And it's like if your parents aren't sending you money and helping you out, it's like it's not easy all the time. Like getting through day to day, right? Like they have flights, they want to come out and see you. You want to fly home for the holidays. It's like that stipend isn't that big.
Not doing it.
No. So it would have been definitely a plus, but I think at the end it was kind of a good thing because it wasn't a distraction for me. It was just like grind, hoop, take care of school, graduate, and let everything else come when the time's there.
Well, that's the one thing I think about. I think it's a double-edged sword to your point right there, because obviously, like you said, if you not making ends meet, that money is great, but then you got to think we're 17, 18 with a couple $100,000. That's going to obviously derail a lot of kids at that time, because you can't tell them shit to begin with. So let me get a couple $100,000 to 17, 18 with no kind of money management or anything. That's dangerous, and that's the side they don't talk about.
Yeah, at all. And it's like, then you start posting and doing all these media deals, and then it's like, well, did you watch film?
Did you forget
why
you're here?
Yeah, did you go in the gym? Because I used to, would have had no time. Like, I had practice, I'd work out in the morning, go to school, I practiced in the evening, and like, I wouldn't have had time to do anything else.
Describe your relationship with Coach Kelly Graves.
It's an instant smile. We got some good shit coming right here. No, I'm kidding.
You know those coaches that you just have like a love-hate relationship
thin
with?
line. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of them.
Yeah, that's one of them. He knew the buttons to push to get me pissed off, and I'm really, really thankful for like him seeing the value and, you know, bringing me to Oregon and knowing the potential I had. And I mean, if it wasn't for him, who knows what my career would have turned out. So, but yeah, he's the best. He knew what buttons to push and, you know, what he had to do to kind of get me motivated and going. But he's definitely one of the best coaches that I've had.
What's the best advice he's given you?
I think it would be focusing on the fundamentals. He's so old school. He doesn't like the whole, like, between legs behind the back, no look pat, like all these, you know, turnovers, just make the simple play. And he was so kind of old school, like John Wooden-ish in that way. Like, he always had quotes of, you know, John Wooden up on the board, and he was just a simple person and just demanded excellence in the simple tasks.
Yeah. You said you had unfinished business at Oregon and went back your senior year. Like, that decision, knowing that you was bigger than life at that point and deciding to go back, what brought that decision up? Knowing the bread was right there. You was go to the bank and get whatever you want out of it. It was right there.
It was hard, and I decided within like 5 to 10 minutes of like the deadline, like the night before.
So you're a last minute person, it sounds like.
Very. Yeah, I just wait to the end, and then I get something tells me the right decision. If I do it too early, I have too much time to think.
That's how I feel with packing, and I hate it. Like, I pack my best the morning of, right to the money.
Yes.
If I pack that shit early, it's a problem.
I just, you know, I was like, okay, how would I feel going? How would I feel staying? And it was like, I didn't feel right telling my team, like, yeah, I'm leaving.
Right.
I only had 4 years in college, and we had lost. We should have, you know, if we had won a national championship, I think it would have been my last year.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but having lost in the Final Four, it was like, nah, I still want to go and prove, you know, that I have some things that I have to take care of, and sadly, it got cut short. But
Due to COVID.
yeah.
People don't understand that college bond, though, in sports is special. I mean, it's something, obviously, high school is dope. Same thing, I had a blast in high school, but that college bond with the people that you'll have in your corner for the rest of your life, you know, especially if you, like you said, have unfinished business. Like, I got something to go finish. So, yeah, COVID cut the 2020 season short.
That was the only shit that was stopping us from winning a national championship, too. But yeah, you know, you're right. Like, once you go pro, you understand, like, college is like the
sheltered.
Yes. And then you go to the pro, and it's like every man for themselves. Everyone wants a contract. Everyone has to, you know, perform. And so it's a different beast in itself. So I'm really happy I stayed and like was able to enjoy like one more year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
April 17th, 2020, the #1 overall pick to the New York Liberty. What do you remember the most about that moment, and how excited was you?
You had a draft party?
Yeah, but it was in the middle of COVID, so there was like 7 people there because it would have looked bad on TV.
Right.
It was cool. It was just like I couldn't really hear her say my name. The connection was so bad. But like my family kind of started hitting me, and then I was like, "Oh shit! I think that was me that they called." Because I wasn't gonna. I wasn't gonna expect it. Everyone was like, "Oh, you know, you're going 1," and I'm like,
until you hear it though.
Until you hear it and sign the little paper, you know, it's not the same. So it was pretty cool. It was like I worked for this my whole life and had always, you know, talked about it in 3rd, 4th grade, like, "Oh, I want to play in the WNBA," and so it was like pretty surreal once I got drafted. Like, oh yeah. I got here, and now there's so much more work to do, but I can tell my little self, like, you did it.
I went number 1.
Yeah.
You didn't just do it.
Right.
You went number 1.
Yeah.
So your first season's in the Wubble. What was that like?
AAU.
Yeah. I was going up. I didn't want to see none of the other players, so I would go up straight to the room, didn't hang out, didn't bond, grab the food is in the cafeteria and the hotel where everyone was there hanging out, and it's like,
Not you.
no, I play these people tomorrow. Like, I'm not hanging out with you. Yeah.
That's
That
that
is some
Kobe.
Kobe
I'm
shit,
like,
too.
I'm not hanging out with
Yeah.
you. So, from my hotel room, I could look down into the pool, and everyone was like hanging out at the pool, and I'm like, y'all stay out there and get
We got work to do.
sunburnt and yeah.
Fastest player in the WNBA, only 6 games into your professional career, triple-double, 26, 12, and 10. How is it so easy? What's the secret?
It's really not, but that was pretty cool because a lot of people had told me that I wouldn't be in high school. They told me I wouldn't be able to do it in college. In college, they told me I
Right.
wouldn't be able to do it in the pros. And so, obviously, I only had one last season, which was not okay. I'll be having a lot more next season, but kind of coming back from injury and figuring out like, oh yeah, I can still play my game and do what I have to do at the professional level was nice to see.
Bad ankle sprain, grade 3, keeps you out the remainder of the season. You're finally here on the big stage, having a good season. An injury cuts that season short. What's the mental process like for you?
I'm still going through it. A year and a half, 2 years later, still rehabbing, and that was my first like injury.
Real one?
Yeah, so it took a lot. Like physically, I think that's the easiest part. Like figuring out like you're gonna work and you're gonna rehab. That part's not the issue. I think mentally, like I came back too soon and was eager to play last year in my first season, and then it was like, well, you're playing at 40, 50%,
Yeah.
and it's like. I think it's a whole process of like just be patient, work hard, get really healthy, and then your game will do what your game has to do. So yeah, it was unfortunate, but I think seeing bigger picture, it's like I'd rather, endure that in year 1 than in year 19
Yeah.
because my body's at 21 is
Snap
going to
back,
react,
right.
yeah.
I mean, but it's to me, it's dope to hear you say that, the big picture, because as a young athlete, we normally don't see that. Like, damn, I got to get back out there. Like, I can play, I'll be all right. But to understand that it's a marathon, not a sprint at a young age, it's important.
Well, and I think the big one was the pressure too. Like
New
everyone,
York.
New York, and it was in my 3rd game in the season, and it was like it was so anticipated like this season, and then be like, yeah, I'm out. And then all of last year, it was like I was playing on like a wooden leg, and it hurt. And then it's like then you see the people switch like, oh, she's not really good, she's not,
Right.
and then it's like, okay, this is really like I just have to focus on me. I have to get right, and then everything else will take care of itself.
Well, you locked in. First game back, show up with the Mamba jersey on. Game winner, Barclays. What's going on
I
in your
just had
mind?
to set the tone.
Yeah.
Let it be known.
Let it be known. I know y'all probably forgot, but let me go and remind y'all, first game back. Game winner.
Yeah. I honestly dreamt about it the night before. I
you
really
envisioned
did.
it, yeah.
I really
love
did.
it.
That's no bullshit. Like I really was like, I'm gonna hit a game winner if it gets to that point tomorrow. And so right when coach was drawing up the play, like I was just smiling. I was like, oh yeah, here it is. And so it was cool. It was like my family was there, was able to watch me for the first time since college because of the bubble
COVID,
season.
yeah.
And so it was rewarding to be able to have done that at home in front of a crowd for the first time, and kind of just like a pat on the back for like what I had endured.
Did the Mamba jersey rub off on you walking in there? Did you?
Oh yeah, I put it on when I left too. Like, don't forget.
Right. Represent at all times.
What was your thoughts on your first taste of the playoffs?
It was intense, and I love it. I love the
A
whole.
whole different level than regular season,
Yes. Yeah. It's like you're not resting. You're playing 40 if you have to. There's no, you don't have tomorrow to be like, oh, I'll play better today.
Right.
It's like, now they changed it though. Now it's a 3-game series for all the teams instead of a one and done.
right? Is that first round?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the last teams get a 3 series, which is cool. But I like the pressure of like,
On it. This is it.
yeah, this is it, one and done. And
Like football.
Every
Yeah.
possession counts.
yeah, every possession, every basket, every turnover, like it felt like March Madness, which was fun because I hadn't felt that since my junior year. So I was like, oh, this is exciting.
Another level of the game. How are you getting ready for the new season, 2022?
Well, I just deadlifted 220 pounds yesterday, so.
I probably pulled both hamstrings.
Damn, my back hurt.
I'm pulling a hamstring thinking about it.
I don't know if it's my back or my, I don't know what is it, kidneys. What is it right now? Just thinking
Liver.
about that.
Yeah, I'm trying to get bulletproof for that.
Yeah.
But really the main part of it is physically, like getting really strong, feeling comfortable, confident, and then hooping as well. Yeah, being able to work on the things that I wasn't able to last off season when I was just able to rehab.
Right.
So I'm excited. I feel like it's going to be a good one.
Where do you feel like you're at health-wise?
I'd say like 80%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have 3 more months to, the last 20% is like conditioning and then like being able to shoot and work out when I'm really tired, like the end of the game stuff. So other than that though, a shot feels really good and yeah.
That's like riding a bike for you.
Yeah.
Give us an average day. Average day in LA. You say you train here in the off season. So when does it start? When does it end?
Usually 9 a.m. is like court time. So I go like 9 to 10, 9 to 10:30 as of now, just because I have 3 months to kind of build up. And then I go to PT rehab for 2.5 hours.
Hold on, let me rewind a little bit. Let's break it down for all the youngsters who are watching. So what kind of stuff are you working on the court?
So now it's more repetition. So it's more like spot shots, off the move, touches around the basket. So the duration is shorter, but it's more intense and harder.
Game speed.
Game speed to just build up the endurance to be able to go like a 2-hour session is like simulate a game.
Right.
So that's where I'm at now for the next probably 3 weeks.
Okay.
And then we'll go into the next phase. So doing that, and then I go 2.5 hours of strength PT rehab, which is like lifting, massage,
Band work,
core, arms.
The tedious shit. You got to do stuff you don't like you love it.
Yeah. All the little things, rolling out,
Ugh, the worst.
everything. So usually 2.5 hours of that, and then I'll either have another PT session or I'll go back home and do like ride the bike or do some kind of like cardio with less impact. And then hot tub, cold tub, Normatec, watch the NBA games that are on TV.
It's a hell of a day.
Yeah.
It's a pro day. It's a pro day.
A Hooper's day.
All I do is just add a joint to it. That's a pro day.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about our brother Kobe now. You know, we love hearing stories about him on this show. Obviously, he meant to both of us, and you had a very special bond with him. Talk to us about when you first met him, what that was like.
Yeah, that was, when was that? 3 years ago? I would say 3 years ago. He and Gigi and some of her teammates came to my game. We played at USC. So we played here, and our coaches were like, oh, there's going to be a surprise. We didn't know what. Like, I hadn't had a relationship with him before that. We just, like, followed each other on Instagram.
Right.
And so I'm like, all right. And I'm out there shooting with, like, you know, an hour and a half before the game starts. Not a lot of people are out there. And then they walk in, and I was like, is this the surprise? Because there's nothing else tops this.
Right.
So this has to be the surprise.
Right.
And he watched the whole game, came to talk to our team after in the locker room. That's when we like exchanged numbers, talked, and then ever since then it was like workouts. You know, I helped coach, you know, Gigi's team with him. So ever since then it was like we just clicked and became really good friends.
He put you through workouts?
Yeah.
Intense, right? Attention to detail is insane.
Yes, but it was not as much shooting as you think. It's almost little to no shooting.
It's technical. Well, he worked my twins out. So my twins, for their 10th birthday, we took a surprise out to Orange County. He worked them out. Very little shooting.
He's big on footwork.
Footwork.
Yeah.
You know,
it was like fundamental. It was literally like you had a ball and it was like, all right, pivot off your toe for like 10 minutes. Let it get tired and like back pivot, forward pivot, side pivot, like all these pivots. I'm like, are we gonna shoot?
No, it wasn't about that. Yeah,
it was all the little. It was the little things, and it was cool because like all Gigi's teammates were doing them, and we're doing them really well. And I was like, this is.
Well, he practiced that team. Not to cut you off, he practiced that team. I think he told me like because that's how we were. Obviously, we were close, but in that we'd always see each other because I was coaching twins, he's coaching Gigi. And I'm like, you know, how often do you guys practice? Like, no, 6 days a week. You know, I got these girls running the triangle with their eyes closed. I'm like, what the fuck, Cole? Like, are you kidding me? Like, and he was not playing.
No, he was not playing. And it was long practices. It was like 2.5 hours. Like, and they showed up happy, excited every single day. They loved it.
I love that. Best advice he gave you?
real sharpness comes without effort.
Real sharpness comes without effort.
Yeah.
Means you got to put the work in.
Yeah. And he told me that we were like walking out of the gym. He had the little bag on his back with the balls that he carried and was just like, and just told me that and then like walked away. I was like,
I'm gonna leave you with that.
okay.
A gym.
Yeah. And then the whole time I was like, okay, this is what he stands for. Like, put in the work. And then when you're out there, it's like, oh, it looks so easy. It comes so effortless. It's like, yeah, because you put the work in
Second
behind
nature.
the scenes.
Right.
Yeah.
Where were you at when you heard the news?
We were about to play Oregon State.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in the locker room, probably like literally 30 minutes to tip off. Yeah, in the locker room. And it was like, do I play? Do I not play? Because I like don't even remember that day.
Right.
And I was like, no, I didn't warm up, but I was like, I'm gonna play. And we had not beaten Oregon State at Oregon State, so it was like a huge game for us, ESPN game. And I don't remember the game, but we won, so that was good. I think I like did decent, but I was not there.
You were just somewhere else.
Yeah,
right,
I was not
right,
there.
Right.
Yeah.
224, you spoke at the memorial service. What was that like?
It was like I was nervous, I was emotional, like it was awesome to see how many people were there that were touched and had some story about him. Like all that, like half the whole NBA was there. To be able to see all like friends and family and everyone that really came together was really cool. But I mean, it was hard, and the fact that I had a game
Right,
later.
I was about to say, you did something special that day as well.
Yeah.
I mean, two very special things, obviously.
Yeah, and so, going up there, I was like, oh my gosh, like the youngest person to come up here, I was like nervous, emotional, and it was just like, I have to just do it. I have to just speak. And it's like, don't worry about everyone else that's here. It's like, you're just talking to them. And that's what my agent told me. And I was like,
So,
I like that. And that I think that helped a lot and kind of calmed down a lot of my fears.
Michael Jordan's speech, I thought it was something that was needed. I wasn't expecting it. Obviously Kobe was our Jordan, but we saw Jordan too. And to see that kind of compassion and love and the kind of relationship you have with Kobe, how did that strike you?
Yeah, I was interested to see how his speech was going to go, and I heard that he was going to be up there because, it was that kind of like little brother mentorship. And it's hard when, you guys know when you're playing against these players, it's like you idolize them, but then it's also like, I want to kick your ass.
Right.
So it's hard, but it was just this level of like respect between the two, and for him to be able to go up there and he cried, and to, the meme of that he said it was going to be a meme, and just, to be able to, see how much it hurt him, but how much he meant to him was, we all feel it now when we watch all these players that are doing his moves and stuff. Like, that's really what he was to all of us and to your guys' kids and, all of that.
Yeah.
To see MJ though,
That's something that's different.
that really touched me, bro. You know what I mean? Because you know how we all feel about him. But to see MJ, everybody wondered the relationship. But to see him actually show his real feelings and how he felt about Kobe, I think everybody needed to hear that.
Yeah, I
You know
agree.
what I mean? Everybody,
Especially
the world
like
needed
you
to
said,
hear
like
that.
the little brother shit, like
Yeah.
annoying Kobe. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
don't picture, but only Mike could say some shit like that.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
just to have that in true Mamba fashion, as you mentioned, you spoke at the memorial, then went back and became the first, not just woman, but NCAA player to have 2,000 points, 1,000 assists, and 1,000 rebounds that night. What was that 24-hour span like?
That's crazy.
Well, I literally got on a plane.
Was it private?
Yes.
Okay, that's how they treat you then. huh?
Yeah.
That's how they treat you. Yes.
That was the only way to get back to the game.
Right,
So
right,
right.
the donor,
Hey.
Ed Miletus, I'm still friends with him to this day.
Shout out Ed. I might need it too.
He let me hop on the plane, get there, speak, literally fly. I didn't even like warm up, none of that. Fly back. And I think it hit me like later on. It didn't hit me like right when I was speaking, but like before the game and stuff, like I threw up the entire like 3 hours leading up to the game, and for like the week after, like I
Shit,
probably had
really?
lost like 10 pounds. So I think it was like I didn't warm up, I didn't stretch. I had just put my jersey on and was like, all right,
Autopilot.
I'm just gonna go play. And so a lot of people were talking like, are you gonna get 10 rebounds? Are you gonna? Because I think I needed 9, and I was like, it's gonna happen on this day because it's supposed to happen.
It's meant to be.
Like it was, it was meant to be. And so to be able to do that on like 224, and that ended up being my 26th and last, and the addition of the 2, it was like you couldn't write it any better.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
You've developed a solid friendship with Vanessa and the girls right now. Can you speak to that a little bit? I mean, I see, to see smiles on their face at all is amazing, but, we see you in pictures every once in a while and you hanging out with the girls now. So how's that?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I was so close to Kobe and G, and I didn't want, that to get in the way of like me not being there for Natalia and for the little ones and for Vanessa. And so I love the relationship and friendship we have. We talk all the time, and just being able to be there and be there for them. They're there for me, laugh with them, cry, whatever it is, it's just so important. And what she's doing for her kids is, hats off. And I don't think really absolutely superwoman, superpowers, and I don't think she also, gets a lot of credit for that, because she is one amazing human being.
That's dope. Shout out Vanessa. Building a brand. You found a way to do that. We see you in State Farm commercials with CP. How'd that situation come about?
Yeah, that was really cool. It was my first one, actually. I think it was like one of my first aired commercials too. So I was a little nervous, but it was cool. It was like my first time having to shoot on a commercial and like make a shot. And
is that more pressure than a big game to you?
A little bit, yeah. Because
that's crazy
I
to
was
think
like,
about that, right?
Do I have to like make it? And they're like, well, no, we could like, make it go in. And I was like, no, like, I can't brick this.
Right.
So yeah, it was awesome, and to still be able to see it like playing and people reaching out.
State Farms are crazy.
Yeah, they're on every single commercial.
Game, was it one of those commercials shooting with Chris and another guy where y'all crying, laughing the whole time?
Yeah, he's funny. He's funny, but we were able to work out after. Like we had like an 8-hour shoot day, and then he was going to the gym, and so we had talked before. I was like, I'd love to work out. So we ended up working out like 2 hours after that, finished at like 11 p.m. and I was like, this is dope. Yeah, I was just able
What's
to
that like? I mean, he's one of the greats of all time. He a neighbor of mine, and our kids are good friends, so he flies the twins out to Phoenix to see. But Chris is a dope dude. I know you guys have developed a friendship, and he's supported you at games and stuff. What's it like becoming friends with CP?
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I mean, being able to work out with him and see what he does, and then, jumping in on drills, shooting drills, all these things. And then, now seeing him being one of the best, point guards the league's going to end up seeing is really cool, because that's the way that he masters his craft, like through his practice. And so I was really able to witness that. And yeah, it's nice to see him come out support. Although I don't know who he was rooting for, Phoenix or us when we were in Phoenix, but I think he was rooting for me. So
yeah. But the other team, it happens.
Yes.
So at 24, you led the league in jersey sales. Slam Magazine labeled you, no pressure, the next queen of New York. When you hear stuff like that, a girl from Walnut Creek, California, what kind of stuff starts going through your mind?
I don't think I'm going to really process it until I'm done playing. I think it's going to be one of those things, but it's cool. But I just have so much more that I want to do and accomplish, and I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface yet. So I'm really just focusing on, the controllables, and I know it kind of sounds cliche, but I'm really like that. So
worrying about only what you control is a good thing, but the title, the next queen of NY, it sound dope. That sound dope. That sound dope.
You can stay modest as you want.
Yeah. That sounds dope. That sounds dope.
You also work with our brother KD and Rich over there at Boardroom. What's that experience like? I love, because when we played, it wasn't so much about business and basketball. It's just let's hoop and then go have fun when we're done. Now there's so much attention to detail about saving your money and building your own individual brand. Obviously teaming up with, one of the greatest we've ever seen, and then Rich is a beautiful genius mind. What's it been like working with those two over there? It's
been amazing, but you're right. It's like when you're younger and back when you guys played, it was just basketball. It wasn't as much like branding and investing and figuring out, your brand partners and how they have to align with your brand. And so now it's really evolved, and I kind of think I was just thrown into the fire, graduating, joining, the league, #1 pick, and it's like you're getting all these brands, thrown at you, and it's like figuring out like, okay, what do I want to do? who do I want to partner with? And so being able to, align with Boardroom and Kevin, being in New York and just being able to stop by the office and pick his brain and figure out, all right, we should invest here and here, and this is why. And
They
also,
kill it.
yeah,
They kill it.
They're really good, and Rich is honestly one of the best that I've been able to
Rich is
witness.
dope.
Yeah.
Talk us about your relationship with Steph Curry. You mentioned it earlier, being a Walnut Creek girl and growing up, and Steph is out that way. What's your relationship with him like?
I've watched him since I was when he came into the league, and so when I was finally able to meet him, and then was in college, and I almost signed with Curry Brand because of him and our relationship, and being able to open gym and go to his games and have that relationship where I can just pick up the phone and call him. When he called me right when I got hurt and helped me out because he had ankle injuries early on in his career too. So what he's doing for the game is something, we might not see many more times from players. And so it's really cool, and I'm just proud of him for the player and for the person that he is.
Right. No, he's like if you can create a superstar, he's the one. You know what I mean? He's the one, and to be able to handle the pressure and continue to live the right way. I mean, obviously LeBron did it too, but Steph's kind of like the no tattoo, the golden boy type thing situation, you know what I mean? And
That's crazy. He got tattoos.
yeah, they're hidden.
He does, but they're small and hidden,
Here and
or
there,
right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're small and hidden.
Man, shout out to Babyface
He has
Assassin.
a baby face. Yeah, that's what it
the
is.
Babyface
Assassin.
assassin.
Yeah.
Who are your top 5 players right now today that you tune into, male or female?
Besides me and Matt.
Yeah. Are you guys included in my list?
No.
Keep us out.
Just with you.
Keep us out.
Wait, male.
Male or female? If there's any OGs, you mentioned Diana Taurasi early, or NBA guys, who are you checking out right now?
Oh, so they have to be playing?
No.
Oh, just in general. This is the most controversial question that
Here we
can
go.
We got more. Trust me. We've got more.
Dun, dun, dun.
MJ, Kobe, Kevin, Shaq's up there. Diana Taurasi is going to end up being probably top 5 all time. Sue Bird's going to end up being in the top 5 all time. So that's my answer.
it.
Steph Curry.
Let me ask you about my favorite female player of all time. We just had on the show, Dawn Staley. What do you know about Dawn Staley?
Well, obviously, we haven't played each other in college, so we kind of passed that one. But she coached me a year at USA Basketball, and I just like her demeanor. She's quiet.
Y'all similar.
Really?
She's tough nose.
Yeah, she's quiet, but very to the point. Elite at what she does. Was a great player and even better coach now at what she's doing. And so I want to keep picking her brain because she played that point guard position in the Olympics, and so I'm hopefully going to be able to get a better relationship with her.
Yeah, dope.
Best live game you've seen?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
You can thank Rich.
Yeah, that's a...
Do we believe playoffs? Did you catch it in the game?
Yeah.
Who?
At Oracle?
Yeah.
We're popping.
Yeah.
And I had those courtside seats because we were $300 for a courtside seat back
Crazy
then.
people don't get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whole building smelled like tree.
Yeah, no, it was
Unbelievable.
crazy. Honestly, one of those
Unbelievable.
games when I was younger had to be Andres Biedrins, all those guys. I was like,
Yes.
yeah.
Goose.
Goosey. I love it. Hell yeah.
That's cool.
Predictions. We're at the halfway point in the NBA season. Some teams are still trying to find their footing, but who do you see in the finals?
The Warriors and the Nets.
Ooh, that's gonna be fun.
Nice.
Yeah,
A dark horse pick outside of those two teams?
I would say could be Chicago.
Yeah.
I like Chicago.
Yeah,
That's
that's
my
his
pick.
dark horse. That's his dark
my
horse.
pick. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Going back to Kobe, I think he really shined a light on female sports, obviously through Jeej, and the growth it's kind of taken on since he's kind of put his foot in there, and then it's kind of along with the same rise of you kind of coming into the WNBA. Do you feel, like you said in college, your game started at 2,000 people a game, now it's 11,000. Do you feel just a growing support behind your guys' game these days?
I do. I definitely do. And it definitely started with him, and I think a lot of the NBA is really starting
Yep.
to transition. I think it's also these guys are starting to have daughters and have sisters, and it's
Stu got a whole flock of them.
Yeah, I know. And
None of them play basketball.
But I think it's important to see, like, having those NBA players come to the games with their daughters and, showing them that it is possible to be an elite athlete and play. And he did it, just by showing up and representing us and vouching for us, wearing the WNBA sweatshirts all the time. And now it's like you see football players wearing them and everyone wants them. So it's cool to see how he changed that, and I think it's still changing. There's still so much, that needs to be done, but I think it's cool seeing, people in power start seeing the appreciation.
I think obviously I think it brought new eyes to it, but I think a lot of us supported it, but we just didn't support it publicly. And not that we were hiding it, but it just wasn't like, because I've always watched WNBA, but I've just never, I think now that, like you said, people are speaking on it and really showing support is what kind of moves the needle, because you guys have support, but I think him, obviously, his presence helps, but then, like you said, people just kind of repping the brand. I mean, that's how it grows. So I think we got our WNBA sweatshirts last year, right? I just had to get mine to my girl.
Gina do a great job of keeping us engaged with the WNBA and the WNBA players, but Kobe rubbed off on everybody. We all got a part to play, and we all love the game. And like Don Staley said, it's basketball. Regardless if you man or woman, it's basketball. So we all have the same feeling about the game.
Yeah. No, that's... And the media plays such a big part in that,
Facts.
too. It's we'll do something, and then someone in the NBA will do something similar, but it's like they get all the recognition, and we don't. And it's like we put up the same numbers, or even better.
More.
And so it was cool to see, like, he didn't do it for the fame, or he didn't do it to be talked about, but he shut a lot of people up about it because he showed, like, no, this is important and this is where I'm going to invest my time in. And I think it shut up a lot of haters and kind of was like, oh yeah, he's right. Like, we should be paying more attention to this.
We understand it different, though, because we understand what y'all go through.
Yeah.
And the preparation, you know what I'm saying? Being away from your families, all the long hours in the gym, like, we understand that part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's important to us that y'all get looked at as equal as the NBA. It's important. The power of social media, how you view it? I mean, we all know it's powerful. How do you handle it?
I'm really a low-key person, so I don't love putting up a bunch of stuff on social media. I know it's kind of part of the new age with, like, do your sons have? So it's
My
like...
7-year-old has Instagram.
TikTok, Instagram. Yeah. But with that said, you do speak your mind on important issues when you need be.
I do,
That's one thing I love about you, too.
Yeah, I do. I'll talk my shit when I have to. But yeah, no, it's powerful, and I think now it's like, when I was younger, we weren't able to really see what NBA players were like. I wasn't able to see what you guys were doing. I was able to see what you guys were doing on the court when I was at the games. But like, I wasn't able to be like, okay, this is what he's doing today or whatever. So sometimes it's like I try to make sure, like, there's a 7-year-old that's watching my Instagram right now, and like, what do they see? And it's like, all right, I'm battling an injury. How am I staying positive? What am I doing? And you don't really realize sometimes that really can change someone's life with what they're dealing with. So I really try and, stay mindful of, like, I'm a low-key person, but also, like, I want to do the best I can and reach people in places like Europe and Asia, like places that I might not be able to, like, actually be there.
And they don't even have to play basketball. Like, they look up to you, and anything you go through, they just correlate it to their life with the situation that they're dealing with. It might not even be basketball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, I seen you get through this ankle injury, and it encouraged me to get through what I was going through at the time. You know what I mean? That means a lot to a lot of people. Candace Parker, talk about her for a second.
Is she coming back? Have you guys heard? Because I would love to know.
We don't have the inside. We've been trying to get her on the show. She keeps Hollywooding us. Now that she won a ring at the crib, we might never get her.
But what would you guys do? You won a ring. You could go back for another year, or you could finish your career on a.
I was pushed out the league.
What is she? 15 years in?
I think it's 15. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's got 2 rings. I would probably ride off on that high horse, especially because business after basketball's already started. You know what I mean? And that's what, was fun for me was, life after basketball had started before I was finished playing. So when the transition I made, it was smooth. You know what I mean? But obviously each person is different. But she's doing obviously she's doing a great job. In
AP Player of the Year.
Outside the space.
It's cool. And I think the hard part is, like, the competitive nature in you of, like, I'm still healthy. I can still play. And I think that's going to be interesting. But to see what she's doing on the court, but also off the court, and just being able to represent the WNBA, but also women on, on ESPN, on all these shows, it's cool. And I've gotten to know her a little bit, through Vanessa and through the league. And so I'm excited to see what she does, but super proud and happy for her winning back in Chicago in her hometown.
Becky Hammon was real close to becoming the first NBA women's coach, but she's in Vegas now. Give me your thoughts on her, Becky Hammond.
Yeah, I was ready to see her make that jump in the NBA. You know, I know it's political.
Yep.
I know how it works, and but that doesn't mean I think she said it best. The door's not closed.
Right.
I think that door will be open, and she might be the first one to be able to knock it down and get that job. I think she's respected through the league, coaching the G League and being under Pop for so long. But I think it's great for the league to have our league to have someone who's played in it, coached at the highest level, and then be able to come back and kind of like pay it forward for the next generation of players who's wanting to do something similar. I'm excited to see what she does in Vegas, just not when they play
Not
us.
against you guys.
Right.
All right, coming down to the end, quick hitters. So first thing to come to mind, shoot. Your welcome to the WNBA moment was?
I think I got my shot blocked to like the third row.
You remember by who?
It might have been Liz Cambage.
Oh. Big Liz.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, yeah, I gotta get a little floater in now.
Yeah.
I can't make it all the way to the basket.
That's funny.
You, Oscar Robertson, and Russell Westbrook on the team in the 3-on-3 game, right? Who owns points, rebounds, and assists? You can only choose one for each.
Mine's assists.
Okay, so you're going to lead in assists.
I would say Russell will be
Turnovers.
points.
Oh, excuse me, my bad.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Points.
Hey, Russ, I work out with his brother. I ain't got nothing
That's
to do with
my
that
boy,
shit.
man. That's a joke.
So you said points would be Russ?
Yeah.
And then rebounds would be Oscar?
Yeah.
Solid question.
Oh.
The funniest thing that's happened to you recently?
That's a good question. No one ever asks that. Yeah.
Rose.
No one ever asks that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Tracy.
All right, T.
The funniest thing that's happened to me recently. My brother be saying some funny shit sometimes.
All the time.
Yeah. I mean, today, like, I was doing push-ups at PT, and he was over there making some comments about how I was looking weak. And I'm like, bro, don't make me laugh while I'm doing push-ups, please. So I would just say that.
Are you guys still close? Is he out here right now?
He comes out. He just graduated, but yeah, we're always really close.
Even though y'all twins, he's big bro?
No, he's little bro.
He's still little bro.
'Cause you're
Yeah,
older,
but he's
right?
like, I'm older, but he's like 6'6", so
he's big.
He's
Okay.
big, yeah. So that was always.
Oh, so he definitely hates
See,
that
my
you can
sister's a
whoop
year
him.
older than me, but I'm big brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm big bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's like, when you're like 23 or 24 years old, it's like he's so immature still.
Oh, yeah. He's trying
So
to figure
maybe
can't
he'll
take
be
the
big
title.
bro when
He
he's like
can't take the
32,
title.
but at the moment right now, I'm like, bro, you're a child still.
He's
So,
still living
yeah.
life.
5 dinner guests, dead or alive.
5 dinner guests. Like, can they be my friends?
Whoever you want.
Anybody.
It's your table.
It's my table. Kobe, Jeej, for sure. Obama.
Nice.
My mom. And then I would say Tom Brady.
That's a nice table.
TB12.
Top 5 greatest female athletes of all time. Excuse me.
Ooh, that's hard. Serena Williams.
Have you seen King Richard?
No, not yet.
you
But I
gotta
heard
see-
it's really
I just watched
good.
it 2
Hey.
nights ago.
Really?
Good job, Will.
I was like this.
Really?
I was trying. Yeah, I
It was
couldn't
good.
do it.
Really good. Gives you a whole different perspective on their father. But go
Like,
ahead. We didn't mean to interrupt.
growing up. Okay, yeah, I heard that. So I would say Serena. I honestly, Naomi Osaka is going to be.
Yes.
Special.
She's awesome.
Yeah, and then I think basketball bias, I'm going to go with, like, Diana. I feel like I'm missing some other sports, so I'm trying to think about track, soccer. I'm going with those 3 as of now. Because I don't want to miss out on
Right,
someone that I
yeah.
know is there.
You can fill in later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which 3 artists' songs do you have in your rotation right now? Who are you listening to?
Drake.
What song?
His new album. I
Yeah.
still listen to
Certified Lover Boy.
Certified.
Yeah.
That's Jack. Jack is Certified Lover
Yeah, I
Boy.
still listen to the new album.
I can't deny that.
Can't deny that.
But I'm on the shuffle of like 20 like hot top hits. So it's
Yeah.
like him, Pop Smoke, ASAP, like Just whatever's
whatever's
on.
hot right now.
Whatever's getting me going for my workouts.
Gotcha.
3 shows you currently binge watch.
I'm literally not watching any show. NBA TV, ESPN is like all that I watch at the
serious.
moment.
Happy
I
basketball.
love
Yes.
it. I love it.
If you could have a guest on our show, who would it be?
But
before you answer it,
but
you have to help us get your answer on this show. Man, I done got good with answering that question. I used to struggle with it at first.
I would say
3rd grade reading level.
Second.
I think Steve Nash.
Ooh. Good. Oh, we had
Steve Nash. I'm about to say, come on, cut it out. We had.
Okay, let me
It
hear
was,
it.
it was a
Steve
remote
Nash.
episode though.
It was remote, yeah.
Was it good?
I love Steve
I
Nash,
love
and I love
Steve
Steve Nash because he's one of the only people on this earth that still has George Floyd as his profile pic on his Instagram.
That's dope.
Oh yeah, you're right. He does.
Yep. And, you know, that was my guy.
Yeah,
so.
I know. I love that. Okay, so not Steve Nash is canceled.
Yeah, we
because-
had him already. Give us somebody else.
And I have to help, so I have to know them.
There you go.
Ding, 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 ding.
Indirectly.
Ding, 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 ding.
All right, let me think. All right, Naomi Osaka.
Ooh, good call.
Yes,
I like that.
I love her too.
We'll take her. Ding, ding, ding.
You know why I love
Winner
her?
is. Huh.
First press conference for George Floyd. Her and Corday were in the audience and nobody knew. And they just stood there like regular like everybody else, no security or nothing. It was like 3,000 people out there and they were just standing there.
Dope.
Like regular people. So shout out to her. Yeah. Yes, we would love to have her on the show. Corday just dropped a new album too. I got an album coming. Gotta pick that up.
Check them out. Well, before you get going, we wanted to give you a little.
Yeah, you gotta leave us some all the smoke gear. We gotta see what all the smoke
Hey,
gear.
thank you.
You know what I mean?
We appreciate you coming on
Wow,
the show.
thank you.
Best of luck. Get healthy. We want to see you all the way healthy next year.
We
and,
feel good when we see the greats in our all the smoke gear. We seen Draymond and the rest of those guys wear it to the game. I can't wait to see you in it.
I'll wear it.
You know what I mean? So I can
I'll wear it.
repost it. You know what I'm saying?
I'll wear it.
Well, that's a wrap. Sabrina Ionescu. I did it. You can catch this on Showtime Basketball YouTube and the iHeart platform Black Effects. We'll see y'all next week.
The Celtics and Lakers in the 80s, MJ's Bulls, Shaq and Kobe's Lakers, and South Beach's Big Three. All love and respect for the greatest ever. But these are stories that we already know.
What about the almost champions?
I think that was the first time that you could see defeat on the Lakers' face.
The breakout season. Where, like you say, we got to 30 and 40, it was like we started looking at each other like, it's getting crazy.
The unsung hero.
What a block! How did Prince get there? What a block!
What about the city icon?
Tomahawk Sam! Yeah, baby!
The what ifs.
It was just a missed opportunity. We get up 3-1 on a Houston team. We should close that out.
What about the players that changed the game?
He was a trendsetter too, though. Gino was a trendsetter. Like, he started the Euro step, all that stuff. He started all that stuff, man.
What about the players that for sure should have won the 1996 McDonald's
Here we
McDonald's
go.
game?
Bro,
MVP?
give it up, bro. Give it up. You've been saying it for the last 4 years. I know what you're going to say.
Okay.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to get
What's going on, my brother? I appreciate you having me on.
Definitely honored that we're on Forgotten Seasons.
Only thing I'm plugging is Forgotten Seasons. It brings back memories for players, for fans. It sheds a light on teams that definitely should get mentioned a lot more.
Forgotten Seasons, presented by Showtime Basketball.
What are you waiting for?
My name is Travis. I am the founder of Uber. And contrary to what you might have read, I am not a monster.
He is bold and uncompromising.
Is this legal? Grow or die.
You need to start listening to the people that help build this company.
The city has been taken!